Hi, this is Rich McNutt, the author of Hunter's Choices. I have had hunters feel guilty about leaving meat in the freezer. Personally, I do not understand the hows involved in a printed recipe. I needed to be shown how to cook. So this cooking series really is for me. I have discovered that after I try a recipe several times, it turned out much better. Hunt smart by choice and good cooking. If you are like me and only have a few good wild game recipes, this show is for you. You won't believe how great you can cook wild game. Hi, I'm Rich with the Wild Things Show, Cooking Wild Game. I'm in Starla's wonderful kitchen with the beautiful Starla Basco from ilovedip.com. And what we're going to make today is kind of what I grew up on. We have Mom's canned venison, and that's on a different episode. That's on your screen. But some of the other things that you can can, these are pears. Now you can either get pears by the bushel and can your pears that way, or if you have a pear tree. And this time of year it's a partridge in a pear tree.
Yes, it is.
But again, this is something that I grew up on. And then you vegetable stock for vegetable soup. So what we would do is take 2 jars of vegetables, 1 jar of venison, throw it in a pot, and any of the kids could make vegetable stew.
So is that a vegetable stock then too, right in there?
Right in there.
So you just dump it in the pot with your venison, heat it up, and you're ready to roll.
That's it.
Wow, that's really easy to do. That'd be a great one to take along to deer camp too. Throw it in your slow cooker.
Right.
And when you come in, you have something all warm, and then it's hearty with the venison.
And everything's already cooked, so it's just basically heat and serve. And so, you know, it doesn't matter how long you've been a hunter. I guess it does matter. If you've been hunting for a while and you have a freezer full of meat, the question is, you know, not how much meat you've had, but how many times have you lost power to your freezer and lost your freezer full of meat? So canning is another option, which is becoming far, far more popular again, because if there's a power outage, canned food doesn't waste. It doesn't go bad with your freezer.
And it's convenient because you can take it with you.
Almost any place.
Yep. You know, you have a frozen roast, a little tricky. Take that with you, where this, you know, you can throw it in your bag and you're ready to go.
Right. What we grew up on, we did a lot of pickles. That's the most popular thing to can is pickles. And when there were 7 kids at home, we did pickles in the gallon jar. And Mom said that she would do 170 gallons of canned pickles every year for the 7 of us kids. So check out our other shows. Because we are canning venison, we have canned salmon, we canned beans. Those are all other episodes that we already have on the Cook Show. Pickles are coming. The difficulty with canning pickles or other fruit and vegetables is you have to be there when they get ripe.
Yep.
As soon as they get ripe, you have to can it. So if I'm not available with the camera, it didn't get videoed.
Yeah, you missed it. Dave and I did a lot of pickles this year because we flavor them up with the different seasonings.
Right.
So, yep.
And then the other big thing we did was tomatoes. So, I mean, you know how, if you have a tomato plant, you know how many tomatoes you get off. Well, you can can your own tomato juice, and it's really easy to do.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, we do a V8 juice. That's just terrific, and then it's healthy too, and you know what's in it.
Yeah, so you won't have the GMOs and the other weird things that you have in other canned goods. What's not on your label for canned food is what they spray the can with. They spray the inside of the can before the food goes in there, but since it's not part of the food, it's not on your label. And that's a carcinogen. That's a cancer-causing agent that they spray inside of cans.
Yeah, you don't even think about that. You know, like, what do they do to prep it?
Right. Yep. It used to be a powder, but people got wise to that, so now they spray it with a liquid of some kind that's known to be a carcinogen.
So make your own food, you know exactly what's in it.
Right, so today what we're going to do, and we're going to take the mashed potatoes, put it on the bottom of the bread pan, then we're going to add venison for a top layer and warm that up. And we can warm that up in the oven. Now that could be it. We could put the potatoes down, then the veggies down, then the venison. But my mom's trick was that she would make a biscuit batter and she would put biscuits across the top.
Oh,
And that's what
you have one whole meal in a pan. How fantastic.
that was just fantastic. So that's what we're going to do today without the biscuits. So we'll just do it really quick. We'll show you how this is so easy. It's almost not worth having a video for, but it's also so good that makes it worth having a video. So
we're going to use the grandma's mashed potatoes from another episode that we had as our base layer, right?
right. If you're Russian, the Russians put hash browns down on the bottom. They prep their hash browns ahead of time, put hash browns down, then they put their meat on. That was really good too.
All right, so we have a nice mashed potato layer there.
Most people will not reuse a lid because there's a rubber seal on the bottom of this. And when you pry them off like that, it bends a little bit, so it won't reseal properly the next time. If you can see, the seal has a indentation in it from the glass jar. So you throw this part away. The actual ring that goes around it, those are reusable. But the only time we leave them on the jar is when we're actually canning, so that the lid itself doesn't pop up in the cooking process.
Now, some people leave their rings on, but that's not a good habit because they can actually reseal themselves and then you don't know that they were contaminated. So it is a good habit to take your rings off.
Right, because this way, if you press down on them and it pops, like this one, you can hear this pop. If you do that to a jar without the ring on it, you know that this seal is still good. Now you know that this seal is popped. So this will go moldy or go bad on you in a short time frame.
So do you drain the juice off it too?
No, put the juice right.
So you just put the whole juice just right in there. You're gonna spoon it on. So this is how your mom made it.
The other thing we did a lot as kids is, this was sandwich meat.
Well, what's great about canned venison, see how tender it is and it just falls apart as he's putting it on there? It's not tough and it's not dry.
It's already cooked. It's all done cooking. Well, looks like we're going to get the whole jar on there.
Are we really?
There isn't enough left. There isn't enough left over to brag about. It's going to be a sandwich left over. That's about it.
Now when you make a sandwich with it, do you add barbecue sauce or, or you just put it on your bread just the way it is? Or a little bit of both?
I use a little bit of shaved onion and heavy Miracle Whip.
Okay.
But the shaved onion or onion salt or garlic salt.
It looks like you got it covered pretty good.
There we go.
So we're going to cover it with some tin foil or aluminum foil. And then how long do you normally cook this for?
Well, we're just going to warm it up. So on a 350 oven, it's going to be in there for 15-20 minutes.
Okay, so not real long then. So this is something that would be easy if you're short on time at home. You got your leftover mashed potatoes, you have your canned venison, you can have meal on the table in under a half an hour.
Now if you're going to do biscuits on the top, you'd warm it up your 15 minutes, bring it out, put your biscuits on, and then put it back in the oven long enough for your biscuits to cook.
Okay.
And that's just a wonderful whole meal. You'll love it.
So we'll pop it in the oven. We have it preheated to 350.
And we'll be right back.
We definitely are blessed to have cooking moms, aren't we? To pass their recipes along to us.
And that, the recipes that get passed down are the tried and true ones, so.
Yeah, otherwise they just die.
Yeah. So you can do this with hash browns. I've done it with tater tots, with French fries. So you don't have to mash potatoes. I mean, and with the biscuits on top with tater tots on the bottom. That was a famous one.
Oh, that's a good one.
So fast. But it's a fast and easy recipe that when we were teenagers, we were making recipes for the family. Of course, you know, it was in the big 3-foot square.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it in a bread pan. Yeah. Great big roaster.
So there was 3 teenage brothers at home at one time, and
Yeah,
the other 4 were younger than that. So
sure you were big eaters.
can't you tell?
Well, thanks for sharing this recipe with us today, Rich.
This is good. So I'm Rich with the Wild Things Show, Cooking Wild Game.
And I'm Starla from ilovedip.com, Starla Seasonings, Dips and Mixes.
Check out our websites. You'll be the wild game cooking hero for your hunting tribe, for your hunting club, for your hunting group, whatever it is. And on top of that, your friends and family will be after you to go hunting more because they enjoy what you can cook with it. Don't be the person who lets their meat go to waste in the freezer. There's so many. The Vimeo site, vimeo.com/on-demand/cooking wild game. There's over 100 fantastic recipes there on wild game. Everything started on wild turkeys, salmon, trout.
Yep, wild hog, axis deer, venison.
So there's a lot of variety there. We'll cover about anything you can cook. So enjoy.
You won't believe how great you can cook wild game by watching our professional chefs. You won't believe how great you can cook wild game by watching our professional chefs. Now with 100 plus episodes. For $6, get the best online wild game cooking show you will ever find. Visit www.vimeo.com/on-demand/cooking-wild-game.
Thanks for watching the Wild Things Show, Cooking Wild Game. This is Rich McNutt. Enjoy.